Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So we got to talk about the Pacers' first preseason game last night, mostly because it was pretty much the Ben Sheppard and Jarace Walker show. Going into this game in the first half, Obi Toppin and Ben Mathurin looked very good. Ben Mathurin, we know what he's capable of. Obi Toppin looked like he fit in pretty well, pretty seamlessly actually. I like the idea that he's like out on the break. In the first quarter, he had like 7 points. Like out of the 14 points I think that we scored, I think it was in the first quarter. I think Obi Toppin had seven of them, and I think Ben Mathurin had the other 7. And Miles Turner was kind of a non-factor in this game. I mean, which really isn't that shocking. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. is already a better player than him. I mean, I don't know how long we're going to keep doing the Miles Turner experiment and people just keep fucking drafting centers that are better than him. But it seems like we're still on the Miles Turner experiment, and he had 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Granted, he only played 15 minutes, but it's just the idea, like, I am not confident in the whole Miles Turner is going to be an all-star this year that he decided to tell everybody. I don't think that's going to happen. He's just not... Even in the possessions I watched last night where he had to defend Jaren Jackson Jr., I was like, yeah, he's clearly outmatched. So... That was pretty much like the summary of like the first half. You know what I'm saying? Like the first half wasn't really that exciting because like we didn't get to see Jarace Walker. We didn't get to see Ben Sheppard. We didn't really get to see Aaron Nesmith. We didn't get to see Jalen Smith. Like these were the guys that I was interested in watching. And then we get to the second half. And I have to say this. Jarace Walker is one of those players, depending on how much playing time he gets this upcoming season. Obviously, we got a lot of people on our team. We have Obi Toppin, we have Jalen Smith, we have Isaiah Jackson, we have Miles Turner. So, really, he's going to be competing down there at the 4 and possibly the 5 spot for minutes, and we kind of got a lot. We got, like, a lot of people on our roster who play those positions. But when it started last night, Jarace Walker did not start off well. I watched and I was like, okay, like he did like the typical Draymond Green shit that I expected him to do. But I will say this, I do feel a lot better about the Jarace Walker pick after last night because my whole notion or idea that the best Jarace Walker would ever be is a Draymond Green type player went away last night. I watched him play, and in the third quarter, it was rough. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, in the third quarter, it was rough. He was taking bad shots. Like, his first 2 shots were fucking horrible. His first shot, he shot a contested 3 in the corner with, like, I think 15 or 17 seconds left on the shot clock. And I'm like, okay, that's not how you get playing minutes, all right? Just jacking shots is not how you get playing minutes. Then he shot like this really shitty turnaround fade from like the top of the post, and it was like a free throw line jumper, and that didn't go in. And I was like, please do not become one of these players who just jack shots to jack shots. Like Jarace Walker is one of those guys that when I watch him play, I feel like everybody knows he can play defense. Everybody knows he can pass the basketball. It's just the idea, like, his offense is what we question, right? And I feel like last night during the third quarter, when he was put into the game, Jarace Walker was trying to show everybody that he can play offense. And he wasn't letting the offense come to him. He was really, really forcing it. And I'm watching, and I'm like, please just stop chucking. Like, let the offense come to you. Even in the third quarter, it was like his pass selection wasn't great. His shot selection wasn't great. I liked the hustle. Like, there's things that I liked. I like the idea that he's kind of a high motor player. He doesn't give up on plays. He got a couple offensive rebounds. Like, he got a steal. He got a block. Like, he did a lot of good things. Like, he does the little things well. Like, that's the best way to describe Jarace Walker is he's a high motor guy who does the little things well. But when it comes to offense, it seemed like he was very sporadic, like a fucking ball on a china shop on offense. Like, he was just jacking shots and hoping they fall. Then the fourth quarter came, and Jarace Walker finally looked like he was letting the offense come to him. He wasn't forcing shots. I mean, he made like two 3-pointers in a row, and like it was just the whole idea. Like the fourth quarter is what really changed my mind about Jarace Walker, because Jarace Walker ended up finishing the game with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. I think he had 2 or 3 turnovers. But watching him in that fourth quarter made me realize, like, he's actually, like, for a guy who plays power forward, he actually has a really, really nice stroke. Like, his jump shot is actually really nice to look at. And I'm like, okay, so, like, he's a guy that can get it done. And my notion on him changed a lot, from just a Draymond Green type of player to a guy who can maybe be more of a Pascal Siakam type player. And I know that's like saying a lot, and that's a big upgrade over being just a Draymond Green player. But I'm like, okay, like Jarace Walker can put the ball on the floor. He can play defense. He can rebound. He can shoot the 3 to some extent. And when I watched him, I was like, he reminds me now more of a Pascal Siakam type of player, like a guy who has the ability to do it all. It's just the idea is he going to develop into that? And I think he will. I actually think Jarace Walker is one of those guys that, like, if you watched this first preseason game, and then at the end of the season when we watch Jarace Walker play his last game, you're going to see huge improvements in just his awareness. Like, his offensive and defensive awareness are absolutely insane. But it's just the idea, like, he's such a... There's a lot there that needs to be unpacked. And I just think he's going to grow a lot over this entire season. Like, he's not going to start. Like, he might get more minutes as the season goes on, as he continues to develop, kind of like what happened with Andrew Nembhard. But he's a guy that I think the more minutes he gets, the better and better he's going to get. Whereas, like, a couple weeks ago when I watched him play in Summer League, or last month when I watched him play in Summer League, I really didn't have that opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a month and a half ago. When I watched him play in Summer League, I had no confidence he was ever going to be a good offensive player. I was like, okay, like, even if he's just Draymond Green, like, he fills a need. Like, that's why I was so high on Taylor Hendricks, because I was like, Taylor Hendricks at least I know can play offense. But I don't really know that about Jarace Walker. And watching last night, I was like, okay, like, he's capable of this, you know? So that's what I gathered from Jarace Walker last night, is the idea, like, he's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that I had some worries about. I wasn't entirely sold on him. After watching him last night, he scored 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 7 of 15 from the field, which is a nice improvement over what we saw in Summer League. Granted, he did have to take 15 shots, but it's just the idea, like, 7 of 15 is not the end of the world. And, you know, when I saw him make the threes, and once he got more comfortable, I was like, okay, like, there's something there. The third quarter was messy, but the fourth quarter was really where I was like, okay, like, he's going to be good. Then Ben Sheppard. Ben Sheppard looked really good last night. Ben Sheppard he came out firing, made 2 threes in a row. You know, he had a fast break score with Jarace Walker. Jarace Walker had stole the ball through a passing lane, and then on the fast break passed it to Ben Sheppard for an easy layup. And honestly, I'm gonna say this, man. Buddy Hield did not play well last night. Like, he really didn't play, like, Buddy Hield did not look like regular Buddy Hield. You know, I don't know what it is, but something just seemed off about Buddy Hield, that, like, it seemed like he just wasn't trying. And I get it, it's NBA preseason. But I feel like the contract negotiations, the trade rumors, Buddy Hield is, in my opinion, mentally has 1 foot out the door. So, you know, honestly, if we trade Buddy Hield and Ben Sheppard gets more minutes, I'm kind of fine with that. Like, Ben Sheppard looked really good last night. You know, he had 1 offensive rebound for a putback, like a tip-in, that I didn't expect him to get. Like, somebody, I think it was Jarace Walker, somebody was under the rim, shot, missed, and he was able to come from behind from the 3-point line and tip it back up and in. So Ben Sheppard looked, I would argue Ben Sheppard and Jarace Walker looked the best out of everybody last night. Jalen Smith, I was a little disappointed in. Not super disappointed in. I think he had 10 points, 9 rebounds. But Jalen Smith was a guy that it was like, once again, like Jaren Jackson Jr. just worked him. Like it just, for whatever reason, it was like, it's going to be on Jarace Walker to learn to help Jalen Smith and help Miles Turner on defense, which he wasn't really doing. It was kind of like a half-assed effort. You know, there were times where it was like, it was obvious like Jalen Smith was going to get beat, or he did get beat, and Jarace Walker wasn't there to help him. And that's really what we drafted Jarace Walker for. So, I don't know. I look for improvement on that, you know, being like the, weak side help needs to get better from Jarace Walker, but he's still a solid defender. It just, like, there was a couple moments where I was like, Jarace Walker needs to help Jalen Smith out on that. And honestly, like, if I'm being completely honest with you, there's a couple guys on this roster that I think could be gone by the trade deadline. Buddy Hield is one of them, and Jalen Smith is probably the other one. As much as I like Jalen Smith, I don't think he's really that good. Like, he's a good bench center, but I feel like the Jalen Smith that we all fell in love with 2 years ago is not coming back. Like, the guy who was killing it from three-point range, who was stretching the floor. That was part of the reason we signed Obi Toppin, or traded for Obi Toppin. My fault. So, I really don't know what's going to become of Jalen Smith, but it seems like Isaiah Jackson or Jalen Smith could get relegated to the bench this season, where they're just simply not playing as much. But all in all, it was a solid effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, yes, we played without Tyrese Halliburton. The Grizzlies played without Ja Morant, but we were at least competitive. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Brown looked all right. Bruce Brown looked like he's a solid defender. We played really, really fast, really up-tempo. I think they said during the broadcast that Memphis was the number 1 fast break team in the league last year, and we were number 2. So yeah, that just makes the Obi Toppin trade even more attractive. But it's just the idea, like, there was a lot to unpack with this game last night, and I just think going forward you're gonna see roster changes. Oscar Tshiebwe I didn't see much from him last night that I was like, yeah, it's great. As much as I would have liked to, I don't think Oscar Tshiebwe is going to be on the roster start the season. I don't think Isaiah Wong is going to be on the team start the season. Even like there's just like even TJ McConnell. Like TJ McConnell's good. He started last night. Mostly because Andrew Nembhard is out with an injury. He had a kidney stone. And Tyrese Halliburton was out. So it's like, yeah, TJ McConnell started, but TJ McConnell's also another guy that could potentially get traded. I just, like, yeah, we might keep him for the veteran presence to teach guys like Jarace Walker and Ben Sheppard the things that they need to know. But it's just last night, it was like the Jarace Walker, Ben Sheppard, Ben Mathurin show. And Ben Mathurin, we know what Ben Mathurin's capable of at this point. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. Tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.